Okay, so first what I'm gonna do here today is I'm gonna show you how to keep these little baby hairs from falling forward. And if you wanna keep them up and away from your face like this guest does, I'm gonna use a product called Kenra, the Platinum Boosting Spray Foam. You can see it right there. And what I'm gonna do is you just need a little teeny tiny bit around the hairline just to get that hair to stick back. And if you guys are wondering why I'm using this mannequin head and not a nice looking canvas one, it's because I actually use these for coloring and I really prefer this shape. They come in different colors. I get the darker brown ones just because, again, as I said, I color on them. And what I like is that they really form the head shape really nice, so they're really easy to work on. I've had a hard time finding these lately. I haven't been able to find them on Amazon, but I'm usually able to find them on Temu. So if that helps you and you want to try one of these, I highly recommend them. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab my blow dryer, I'm gonna turn it on, and I'm gonna have it on a lower airflow and a higher heat. And then what I like to do is I like to come right up. So come right up to the hairline, and you're going to just place it like this, get your nozzle, and I like to use a directional nozzle like this. And see now how that just gives it a much cleaner look in the front compared to the other side. So it really keeps the hair away from the face, and you can see how much more clean it is on this side versus that side and how those pieces want to fall forward. So we're going to repeat on the other side, and then we'll connect back and start some curling. And then again, now you can see that that just keeps everything more forward, back, away from the face, and just really nice and clean. So for today, we are going to do some soft beachy waves that have a little bit more tightness to them, but not super tight. It's going to be a really nice style for every day. It can be more of a formal style depending upon what you like. And so the first tool that I'm going to use is a alligator clip. We do sell these at the salon. You can also get them, wherever you have a beauty supply store, Amazon, anything like that. And so first what I'm going to do is I am going to section the hair, and I'm going to section it at a diagonal like this and clip this hair away. And what I want to first do is this very top piece, and I'll explain why I do this later, but I'm just going to put this very top piece over and out of the way. And there's a reason why I do this, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to start with our first section. And I like to use a rat tail comb when I'm sectioning as well as the clips. And you're gonna grab your very first piece of hair around the hairline, and you're going to take your curling iron. Your clamp will always be facing the front of the head, and you're going to turn away, okay? So I'm going to start up at the top and work my way down. A lot of people want to start at the bottom down here, but this is the part that's going to dry out the fastest. And so what I like to do is I start up at the top, and then I just lightly bring it through the ends, and then let that curl sit like that and cool. So we're gonna grab our next section, and you don't need to comb every section. I find that if you just grab the wig and you grab it like so, this is probably, I'd say about maybe about an inch circumference of hair that I'm grabbing. And I'm gonna again start at the top, twirl it away from the face, and let that heat up first, and then lightly work it down towards the ends and let that curl cool. So now this piece that we had from the front, we're going to release that piece and we're going to curl that last because we've already curled these bottom pieces. So now this top piece can sit over it nice and everything can cool. And then when we keep going in sections at an angle, you'll see the curls will just lay over the pieces at the bottom. So here we go with this top one, the one around the face. I like to kind of drag a little bit lower, and I like to make sure I get those little return hairs around the face so that they're polished and finished too, and that they flow into that curl. And see how nice that lays on top of the curls that you just did underneath? And so now moving on to the other section. So we're gonna keep going in a diagonal motion for our sectioning. So we're gonna use the clip to create that diagonal. So it's gonna look something like this, okay? We're gonna clip that out of the way. And now we can start from the top and keep working down around. So as you can see, when I start curling, those curls are going to fall really nice over the previous curls. And this just, you guys, it just makes this so much more efficient and faster when you learn to curl this way. And again, I'm curling everything away from the face. I'm working on the right-hand side. And now I'm just working towards the back. Okay, and so now you guys, we're getting all the way towards this back section. So I learned a little trick a while ago when I started looking at my own pictures that I was posting on Instagram of hair extensions. I found that if I didn't do this little trick, that what ended up happening is the curls in the back would kind of hit each other and kind of fall it and make a weird line in the middle. So what I find is when you get to this back section, if you just take your rat tail comb and do a little bit of a zigzag. So see how I've done a little zigzag back there? So I'll do that one more time. So I take my rat tail comb and I'm just doing a light zigzag. And you guys, this does not have to be perfect. This is merely just to separate those curls so that when you start working on the other side, the curls in the back will just kind of softly flow together and they'll kind of fizzle throughout. So they'll look really soft, nothing will be hitting each other, and they'll just lay really nice. So I'm gonna show you now from this side again so you can see what we're working with. So see how we've got the curls now lined that way. So again, I'm going to start up at the top now. And again, I'm gonna keep curling away from the face. And I do have my curling iron on a higher heat. And what I like to tell my clients is, if you are pretty experienced at curling, you can work with a little bit higher heat. I find that, you know, a lot of people will suggest working with a lower heat, but then the curls just don't seem to last as long as if you work with a little bit higher heat. And then you're not curling your wig, you know, you're not re-curling it all the time to get those curls to stay. And so my rule of thumb is, if you're really slow at curling and you're new to this, if you're slow, go lower. So slow, low, go lower with your heat. And if you're faster at curling, you can go a little higher with your heat. And that's what that back section now should look like, okay? So what I do from here then is I just keep kind of working in diagonal sections, but now I'm gonna reverse the way that I have my clamp. So now I'm working on the left side of the head. And so my clamp now, here's my clamp, is going to now point towards the front of the face, and I'm going to curl the opposite way. So now all my curls are going to be going facing towards this side. So what that's going to look like, I'm going to grab that bottom piece of hair. And I'm going to curl towards those curls, and so I'm curling away from the face on the left-hand side. Okay. So now I'm going to do another diagonal section, because again, I want to keep working from the top over the pieces that I've already curled. So as you can see, that's what we're going to be doing here. And we're just going to keep doing the same thing on this section until we get to the next section.
And then I'm going to keep diagonal sections just like so. So now I'm working this way. So again, I'm working away from the face.
Okay, and now you can see I'm getting to those front sections here. So we're going to take the rest of this hair down. We're going to split it in half. And I'm going to grab that piece first. Again, curling away from the face. This top section I'm going to drag out just a little bit more. And then now you guys, this is going to be that very front piece. And so this is what your wig is going to look like on both sides. So this is the right side. You can see how all those curls are formed. You can see how the back, those curls are going to come together really nicely. And you guys, this is such a gorgeous wig. This is one of my favorite colors. The knots are really seamless on this one. So next what you're gonna do is you're gonna grab the Opulence Style and Shine spray. This spray is amazing. Not only does it smell really nice and refreshing, it has a beautiful hold. It's not a very strong hold, but it's more of a hold with a memory. So, and it will also give the wig, because we know that human hair wigs and all wigs need that moisture. And so we're just gonna lightly spray these curls just to give them a memory, so they can last until the next time that we wash our wig. So now we're back and we've grabbed our Opulence Amethyst oil. And you guys, you will know, if you know me, that this is my most favorite product. It is so important, you guys, to oil your wigs at the end. Not only will this seal the ends and seal the cuticles of the wig, it also will give shine and heat protection for later on if you ever need to go back and recurl or touch up a few pieces. So this product is key. You'll go through this product probably more than any of your other products that you purchase from us. Your other products will last you a very long time because a human hair wig at the very most should be washed every 14 wears. And a lot of times we recommend that if you can go up to like a month and a half with your wig, that's better. There's a couple ways to tell when your wig is ready to be washed. And one will be if the hair isn't as soft when you run your fingers through it, it's kind of starting to feel sticky or look clumpy. That's when you know that you're going to need to wash your wig. Another factor is, and this is my not so fun one, is you're going to do the sniff test. So if the inside of your cap is starting to smell like dirty, oily hair, then you know that it's time to wash your wig. So in my hand, I've just put about a little pea-sized drop, so you can see that right there, of the amethyst oil. And I'm going to work it in my hands like this and work it through really good. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab all of the hair, and I haven't brushed it yet, so I'm going to grab all of the hair here in one bundle, and I'm going to start to get the majority of that hair, mid shafts to ends, with the amethyst oil mixed through it. So now I'm going to start raking my hands through it and working that product through. And then if you find that your wig gets a little bit tangly underneath, you can add a little extra oil to the underneath part of your wig, but they shouldn't if they're in good condition and you're taking good care of your wig. But if sometimes when wigs are a little bit older, you'll find that they get a little tangly underneath. And so that's just a little tip and trick that I like to share. So you could leave your curls just like this, where they just look a little bit loose and, kind of a little more defined. And if you don't like this look, you guys, what you can do is you can grab your Opulence detangling brush. Otherwise, if you have a wet brush or something similar to this, you would use this, and then you just lightly brush that hair out. And what this does is that gives it a little bit softer, more wavy appearance, and not quite as defined as the look that we had before. So this is our finished wig. She's all set to go back to her home, to her human. Doesn't she look gorgeous, you guys? Look at those curls. Just beautiful and bouncy. So that's how you get the beachy waves. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. We're always here anytime.